everything India has faced with Pakistan, there's one thing from Lahore that's quietly dominating Indian shops. A drink called Lahori Zira.
हर कोई पी रहा लाहौरी जीरा
मसालेदार मजेदार
I love this. I love this jeera desi.
It's become a household brand today.
At a time when diplomatic ties are strained, trade is restricted, and emotions are running high, why is a drink with Lahore in its name flying off the shelves in India? It's outselling popular Indian brands like Maaza and Paperboat. So what's really going on? Is this drink even from Pakistan, or is the name just clever branding? I had the same doubts until I discovered the truth behind the brand. The name, the brilliant strategy that turned this unknown drink into a viral sensation. Let's unpack where Lahori Zira really comes from, who's behind this, and why Indians are sipping it like crazy. I'm Hiral and welcome to Level Up with Hiral. I'm pretty sure many of you have had one moment where you're sipping something homemade and suddenly go like, ये अगर मार्केट में आया ना पैसा ही पैसा होगा. For me, it was my bhabhi's नींबू पानी. We've joked about it 100 times. If we bottle this, we would be millionaires. But like most people, we laughed, forgot and moved on. Well, someone didn't. They took that exact homemade traditional recipe seriously and today they've turned it into a brand that's literally printing crores with just one simple idea. In 2017, three cousins, Saurabh Bunjal, Nikhil Doda and Saurabh Bhutna, were hanging out in Roopnagar, Punjab. When one said, let's do something together. They sat around the kitchen table sipping a cloudy, spicy drink. That's when Saurabh said, Bhai, this is actually good. That moment sparked Lahori Zira. It didn't happen in any fancy lab, but in a simple kitchen with cousins enjoying time together. They could have ignored the idea, but instead they asked, what if we actually make Jeera water a thing? None of them were experts or had big money. They pooled their savings, convinced family to invest, and bet everything on a flavor that felt like home. Without any fancy funding or corporate backing, they started small. That's how Lahori Zira began. What they didn't know was that they were about to start a mission to revolutionize the Indian beverage industry. They relied on two things: their deep-rooted understanding of Indian flavors and a shared vision to offer something unique to the market. And maybe that is why the brand has built distribution strength in North India in states such as Punjab, Haryana, Delhi, West UP, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu, and parts of Uttarakhand and Rajasthan, taking on the industry giants with Jeera. See, India's drinks market is huge, and one category in particular, non-carbonated drinks like Jeera Masala, Nimbu Pani, Shikanji, has quietly become a billion-dollar business. In 2025 alone, non-carbonated drinks in India are expected to make around 10,000 crore rupees. That includes drinks sold in kirana stores, malls, restaurants, and even highway dhabas. And every year, that number is growing. When Lahori Zira entered this arena in 2016, they were very small. I mean, the annual marketing budget of Coca-Cola India alone was nowhere close to Lahori Zira. In fact, Lahori Zira founders barely had a budget to serve the state customers, let alone spending on marketing. But they knew this very well that no one was really owning the Jeera drink space. Sure, there were a few brands trying their luck. Dabur had a Jeera Masala drink under Real Active, but they were focused more on fruit juices. Paperboard would release Jeera drinks occasionally, but only as a seasonal thing. Jeeru by Zotic was out there, but mostly in the carbonated zone, like Jeera Soda. Parle Agro's Dishu and Bisleri Spicy Jeera did join the race later, but they weren't really speaking to the masses yet. Rimziv was another popular Indian masala soda brand in the 1980s. After Coca-Cola re-entered India in 1993 and bought Parle's beverage brands, it discontinued Rimzim to reduce competition and focus on its own global products. The non-alcoholic beverages market in India is substantial and rapidly growing. In 2023, it was valued at approximately 1.37 trillion rupees and it is projected to reach 2.10 trillion rupees by 2029, expanding at a CAGR of around 7%. But still, none of these brands had any significant market presence. Combined, they accounted for less than 0.5% of the Indian beverage market. Most retail stores wouldn't even stock them because the turnover was so low. Plus, most of them did not have any attractive branding that could make them a national level player. So, what made Lahori Zira so different? And what gave them the confidence that the product will not be another failure, just like the brands we discussed earlier? First, the price point was revolutionary. While a 160 ml paper boat drink costs at least 20 rupees, Lahori Zira launched 250 ml at 10 rupees. They changed it later to 160 ml because of changes in government taxes on carbonated drinks. And instead of increasing the price, they used a technique called shrinkflation, where you reduce the quantity but the price remains the same. But it did not really affect their sales. Next, they nailed the taste. They took feedback from distributors and other people and adjusted the ingredients till it was perfect. They reminded people of their homely warmth and comfort. The taste was desi, but packaging was international style, which made people attracted to the drink to try it out. Instead of focusing on supermarkets or malls, like many premium non-carbonated brands, Lahori Zira went grassroots, like kirana stores, dhabas, railway stations, local tea stores, etc. That's exactly where most Indians shop and eat daily. And they knew that is the exact place where people need something to digest the heavy meal they just had. Initially, they got their drink manufactured from a third party. As demand increased, they decided to set up their own plant. This way, they did not have to invest in machinery right in the start and could focus on growing their brand. After they saw the demand increase, they chose to set up their own plant after taking funding from their friends and family. They set up a plant in Rupnagar to make 96,000 bottles a day. It wasn't easy at all to get through paperwork and licenses, but they eventually managed. And as demand increased, they increased their production up to 12 lakh bottles per day. This directly impacted their sales. In FY22, the revenue was 37 crores and profit was almost 3 crore. In FY23, revenue jumped to 214 crores and profit to 7.6 crores. And in FY24, they made 312 crores, which was a 50% jump from the previous year. Out of that, they made 22 crores in profit, 3 times more than the year before. Lahori Zira is currently present in 18 states across India, has a network of over 2,000 distributors, and is available in more than 5 lakh retail outlets and continues to grow its presence nationwide. Today, they make more than 50 lakh bottles per day, and despite that, sometimes there is a shortage in supply. They are now aiming for 500 crores revenue next year, and with the kind of growth they're seeing, it's very realistic. Now compare that to a brand like Paperboat, a brand most of us know and love. They made 585 crores in revenue, which is almost double than that of Lahori Zira. But they lost 47 crores. Yes, losses came down from last year, but they're still losing money. Their margin is still negative at -8%. Paperboat is present across India, but they mostly sell in premium stores, places like airports and urban malls. The current valuation is 1620 crore rupees, but profitability still seems far away. So what's really happening here? Paperboat makes more revenue, Lahori Zira makes more profit. The difference in bottom line is 69 crore rupees, even though both sell Indian style drinks. The reason lies in how both companies are built. Here's how Lahori Zira plays the game. The Jeera soda costs just 10 rupees for 160 ml, which is super affordable. They're strong in smaller towns and villages, with 78% of their sales coming from rural India. They keep their marketing low-key, mostly word of mouth, and they focus on one main product with some local variations. They kept things simple, went deep into Bharat, and stuck to what works. Paperboat took a different route. Their drinks cost between 15 and 25 rupees per 250 ml. They focus on modern stores and urban shoppers, targeting millennials and Gen Z. Their marketing budget is huge, with celebrity endorsements. Plus, they offer over 20 different products, juices, snacks and more. So while Lahori Zira kept it focused and simple, Paperboat spread out across many products and markets. That made things more complex and expensive, which made staying profitable tougher for them. Lahori sources local, uses simple packaging and keeps operations lean. Paperboat uses premium packaging, has a complicated supply chain and high overheads. Lahori spends around 5 crores on marketing now. That too, they started spending 7 years after they launched the brand. They don't have any celebrities on board as such. But still, their campaigns are super hit. Paperboat spends 50 crores. Lahori earns more from less. Paperboat spends more to earn and still struggles. And despite all this, there's more to unpack, especially the story behind the name itself. The name Lahori Zira has been perhaps the most intriguing aspect of the brand's identity. Given the current tensions between India and Pakistan in 2025, many consumers naturally initially questioned whether this was a Pakistani import or had actual connections to Lahore. The truth, however, is far more interesting. The name Lahori Zira actually comes from a key ingredient they used, that is Lahori Namak or rock salt. So it might sound like it's from Lahore, but it's actually not. They are all about capturing those familiar homemade Indian flavors, simple, desi and full of nostalgia. Why choose this name despite potential controversy? Here's why. I think they made a pretty smart move actually by choosing this name. When Saurabh Monjal picked the name Lahori Zira, he says it wasn't about claiming geography. It was about capturing the cultural vibe. The name taps into a shared nostalgia tied to Punjabi food and traditional flavors. And when questions come up, is it really from Lahore? The brand didn't panic. They kept the focus on culture, not politics. Funny enough, the controversy actually helped. It sparked curiosity, got people talking, and gave the brand free publicity. And once people tasted the drink, most of them stuck around for the flavor, not the debate. For years, we've chased Western brands, thinking they were cooler, healthier, more advanced. But all this time, our grandmothers were mixing drinks in their kitchens that were better suited for us. Tastier, good for digestion, and perfect for a climate. Coca-Cola sells us sugar water, whereas our traditional drinks actually cool us down and help our bodies. And maybe the smartest thing Lahori Zira did wasn't the branding or pricing. Maybe it was reminding us of what we already had, what we already loved. There's a bigger lesson here. The next idea doesn't have to come from Silicon Valley or Tokyo. It might be sitting in your own kitchen waiting to be bottled. What do you think of this kitchen root billion-dollar story? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next week. Ciao for now.